So for this video, we're going to be going over singles and doubles for saber, rifle, and flag. And also for saber and rifle, we're going to be going over drop spins for a little bit since we haven't exactly went over that yet. So starting with flag, what you're going to want to do is have your flag, and starting with singles, you're going to have your right hand kind of a little bit into the silk. How we did it before was you have your tab here and you have your silk up here. You're going to take your right hand that you're tossing to your right, and you're going to make, a Y symbol in ASL. You're going to put your thumb to the middle or the top of the tab, and wherever your pinky lands, wherever your pinky lands here in the silk, that's about where you want to grab. So you're not grabbing at the tab like when you do a pop toss, you're grabbing a little bit into the silk. And then you're gonna, instead of grabbing like this, you're gonna grab under from behind the silk. And then your left hand will just be on your if you only have one tape, or your bottom tape if you have two tapes, it's gonna be there as usual. And for this toss, what you want to do is you're taking your flag, and the goal is to have the flag rotate one full rotation in the air. So sometimes you're going to see people tossing with their arm completely outstretched like this. We don't want to do that here. We want to avoid that as much as possible. What you're going to do is you're going to let go of your left hand and rotate your hand up to about face or shoulder level. So you're taking your right hand, holding like this, and you're bringing it up like that. And that's going to be your release point. So from here to here. You also don't want to over rotate your wrist when you do that. I'm not grabbing properly, but just so you can see it. Some people will bring it here, then they keep going because of the push of the momentum. Don't do that, you will strain your wrist and you're gonna injure yourself. So an example of what a proper single would look like, grabbing in the silk on the tape, it'll look kind of like this. That was a little under rotated, but you get the point. And also catching, you're gonna want to catch the same way, just as your hands flip. So when you catch, your left hand, instead of being on top of the tape, will be underneath the tape. And instead of your right hand being under the silk, it will be on top of the silk. Or on the tab. Either one. Preferably the silk. So again, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3. I keep under rotating. One more time. You're gonna start the turn on the 8, release on the and catch on the 2 and or 3. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3. That's your single. Your double is similar, except this time you're gonna want to make 2 rotations in the air. And you're gonna grab a little bit lower in the silk. Maybe about halfway, 2/3 of the way down. And your left hand will be a little bit under the tape. Instead of on top of the tape, like for your single, it's gonna be a little bit under. This one, you're gonna do the same thing, and you're gonna extend your arm all the way. You can either, oh, and by the way, we're not grabbing in the silk like this anymore. We're kind of grabbing around. You can also grab just under, like how we grab for the single, but for now I'm going to grab like this, in front of the silk. This one, you're going to start with some prep. So we're starting just at a flat flag, at our chest chin level. And we're going to bring it around this way, scoop it down, and then as we're going, we're going to do exactly what we did with the single. Rotate our hands and completely outstretch our arm this time. It's the same this motion, We're not like overturning our wrist, just here to here. Get this time all the way up. So the double will look like. Whew. I don't think you can see that. That's gonna be your double. If you can't get the double now, that's perfectly fine. Ooh. It's gonna take some work to get your double down, but I want you to at least attempt it. Even if you drop it or whatever, at least try it. And do your best to get your singles down. So, next we're just gonna be going over the basics of saber and rifle. Oh, and by the way, for the video submission, on flag, I want you to try and do at least 2 or 3 singles and attempt 1 or 2 doubles. Going to rifle next because this is my personal favorite weapon. The goal of this is to do either 3 or 6 drop spins and then transition into a single toss. Sorry about that. Again, with rifle, what we're gonna do is either 3 or 6 drop spins and then transition into a single. I'll explain that kind of near the end of the rifle demonstration, and heads up, it's gonna be something very similar for saber. Just a little bit different technique. So going into drop spins, let's go over the parts of the rifle first. The part we're gonna be focusing on the most is this area. This thick part is the butt of the rifle. This part on top is the bolt. This nook right here between the bolt and the butt where it's thin, that is the neck. You can call it the neck. And this part is the nose. This is just the rest of the rifle. Then you have your strap, and on the strap there's going to be the part right here. It might be a little bit thicker on your rifle depending on how they did the strap, but this part right here on the strap between the bolt and between the bolt and where the strap is attached to the rifle, this is going to be an important area too. This is where you're going to want to catch most of your tosses, so yeah. But right now we're focusing on the neck. So with this, normally for drop spins on flag, you spin with 2 hands, you know. You do the whole down, up thing, thumb up, thumb down. This, you're only spinning with 1 hand. You're going to spin with your right hand. We're going to get into left-handed drop spins later, but for now, we're going to just be using our right hand. We're going to place our right hand under the neck. So our fingers are just going to lightly wrap around, and our thumb is just going to be off to the side. It's not going to be wrapped around, touching our fingers, just off to the side, because we don't want it to get in the way. So the drop spin, I apologize for my video stopping so much. My phone's running out of storage. But going into how we do drop spins, again, I just showed you how to hold your rifle for drop spins. And if you want, what you're supposed to do with your left hand is just rest it on top, a little bit away from the nose. Going into actually doing them, all you're gonna do is you're gonna let go of your left hand, and it's gonna drop up and down. It's gonna be facing the floor, and your thumb should be pointed up. Not that important, but just for reference, your thumb is pointed up. So this is gonna be 5, 6, 7, 8, and you're gonna let it keep going, and you're gonna let go. So your hand's not gonna be on the rifle the entire time you're spinning. So 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1. On 1, you're gonna catch your first drop spin. So a full set of 8 would look like 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're gonna keep turning and catching. And when you catch that drop spin, Is the lighting good? I can't tell, I'm sorry. You're gonna release about here. Release. And then you're gonna catch it again when it's about here or up and down. Sometimes you'll catch it like this, not preferred. But about somewhere in this range where the nose is more so to the left of your body, your hand's gonna release like this. And as it continues rotating, you're gonna quickly flick your hand back and catch like that. Those were parents. So again, it would look like this. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Excuse me. I'm sorry again. So that's kind of what rifle looks like. I'm going to show you how to stop spinning now. So when you stop spinning on rifle, you don't want to just go, oop, I stopped. Because again, you're going to strain your wrist just suddenly stopping the momentum, and it's going to suck if you overstrain your wrist and injure yourself. So the way to stop is you're literally going to throw it into your hand. So if we're starting like this, left hand kind of near the nose, right hand here nice in the neck, you're gonna throw it into your hand. So 1, 2, 3, and instead of going for that fourth one, you're going to let go, and instead of, catching again, you're gonna let go, and it's literally going to just flop into your other hand. So 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. And then your right hand's gonna go on top of the butt. So 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, one more time. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Also, one thing I should note that I completely looked over, you're not going to spin inside of the strap. Your hand's not going to be in here. You're going to be hitting the strap, The strap's going to be under your hand. Last time, we're going to do an 8 count. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So spin. Also, when you're spinning, keep it 90-degree angle. 5, 6, 7, and that's how you stop your spins. Your hands are going to kind of shift over. Next, we're going to do a toss. Tosses, how you're going to hold it is exactly how you're holding it when you stop your drop spins. So when it hits into your hand like this, you're going to be kind of in the middle of your rifle, right in the middle of the nose and the bolt on that possibly thick part of your strap. Right here. And your right hand's going to just be chilling on the butt, on the edge of the butt. So tossing, we're just going to do singles. What you're going to do, you're going to toss with your left hand, which is going to be different since we've been tossing with our right hand for a flag. We're going to toss with our left hand. So hold it in proper position. 5, 6, 7, 8, and on about 8, you're going to dip the nose down. Sometimes you might see people dip the nose down and squat. You're only going to want to do that if you're doing super high tosses, like 6s, and like up to 3s, that's when you can start squatting. And sometimes you might see people do singles without, doing the nose dip. But for now, we're going to do the nose dip so we get in the habit of doing that prep. When we get into higher tosses, you can also, if you want, to do it without the prep. So 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2. Now when you toss, it's going to be like the exact same thing as the singles on flag. You're going to let go of your right hand, nose dip, let go of your right hand, and bring it up. Again, face shoulder level, and all you're doing is this. No fancy twirls, just my palm is facing up, now my palm is facing down. Palm is facing up, palm is facing down to the side-ish, you know. That's going to be a release point, and all I can say now is flick your wrist. This is more of a flicking motion than a pushing motion, like flag is more pushing, weapon is more flicking your weapon. So you're going to want to make your toss nice and low. It's not going to go all the way up there. You don't want that. You want a just nice, fast flick of the wrist, fast spin in your kind of head face area. So, ow. It might hurt, by the way. I'm not using gloves. I forgot to wear mine. But, again, just kind of nice by your face. It's going to be really fast, and it's going to hit your hand. You're going to hear the bang of the strap when you catch your toss, and it's going to hit your palms and your hands and your knuckles pretty hard. So beware, wear gloves if you want to. I personally don't prefer gloves, but you know, it's good to have them handy if you get sore. I'm kind of used to it, so whatever. So we're going to do some singles. We're going to do 3 singles together. Now I'm going to count us off. Remember, we're going to dip on the 8 and bring it up on the 8 and 1-ish area. It shouldn't take too many counts to catch. So one demonstration, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2. That was too high. See how I had to reach out to grab this? Don't do that. Again, you want it nice and low, and when you catch, you're gonna want your hands to just still be about here when you catch. That's on me. So together, we're gonna do a couple. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2. Nice catch right in front of my chest. Again, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2. For my chest, last one. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2. Those are singles. Now, for the video submission, we're going to want you to try this. So, you're going to go either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2. If you just can't get the hang of drop spins, we're going to want you to try that. If you're kind of better with drop spins, we're going to want you to do this. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2. Oh my gosh, that was on me. But you get the point. That's what we want you to do for your video submission. Next is saber. So this is going to be the last thing that we're going to ask you to do, your saber. So on saber, what you're going to do is very similar to rifle. So this is the hilt area. This entire area is the hilt. Some people just call this also the hilt if we're being particular, and this is the handle. And this is the hilt guard, this kind of thick area. Then you have your blade, you have your tip. Also, when referring to the blade, you see how it's curved? The part that curves upward is going to be the top of your blade, and then the part underneath that, the bottom of the curve, is going to be the bottom of your blade. So, usually when we have our sabers taped, which I don't think many of us have ours taped right now, we just have these brand new ones, you're going to have, I think about 1 tape here, 1 tape here. For reference, but right now we don't. So let's just say when you're holding for drop spins, you're going to have your left hand on top of the round part of the hilt like this, and your right hand is going to be about here, just a little ways away from the tip of the saber. You can also change it depending on what's comfortable, but don't spin up here or in the middle. The middle is not good either. You kind of want to be on the outer end of the blade. And it's going to be the exact same thing as rifle, just a little bit different technique from what you're used to. It's going to feel a bit different, but in general it's the same thing. So, going to saber. I'm not the best, so I apologize if I mess up. Saber, going to go 5, 6, 7, 8. Last apology for the video pausing. I freed up a bunch of storage. I shouldn't do that anymore. It's the home stretch, but I was just counting off for the drop spins. I'm gonna do that again real quick. So, drop spins are gonna count off 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Then, yeah. Oh yeah, so spinning, just like rifle, just a little bit different feel because it's a lot lighter than the rifle. And also, stopping is the same as rifle. So, you're gonna toss it into your other hand. Like so. Your left hand's gonna be on the bottom of the handle, your right hand's gonna be on top of the blade. Last thing is the single for your saber. So, I decided that we're going to, what are we going to do? We're going to do blade tosses for this one. So, some people will say blade tosses are scarier than handle tosses. So, tossing from the blade is a blade toss. Tossing from the handle is a handle toss. I'm personally going to do, actually, yeah, let's do a handle toss. Again, I'm not the best at saber. Don't use me as a perfect reference, but let's do a handle toss. So, same thing as rifle, exact same setup. Left hand, you're going to be tossing with your left. Left hand on the bottom of the handle, right hand on top of the blade, like if you just stopped your drop spins. You're going to do a quick little dip. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1. Now release on 1, exact same thing as rifle. So 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2. Again, that was kind of bad catch, but when you catch, left hand on top of the handle, right hand under the blade. One more time. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2. That's going to be on saber. So, the same thing there as when I showed you with rifle. What we want you to do is do either 3 or 6 drop spins. You know, when you stop your drop spins, we really want you, if the lighting will focus. There we go. That's too bright. Well, we'll deal with it. We really want you to stop the drop spins properly and then wait until the 8 count for your toss. Do whichever is comfortable for you, and we want you to do these on all of the equipment. So what I showed you, what I told you to do on flag, you're gonna submit a video for that, video for rifle, video for saber, or you're gonna put all of them together into one big video, and submit that on Thursday. So that's that. Thank you for watching. If you need any more clarification, you can contact me, and I also suggest watching the video tutorials by Spintronics on YouTube. They're also very good and thorough on what you need to do, so you can also watch them if you need another perspective on how to do these things. I would recommend them the best. So, thank you.